Our next recipe, blueberry peach cobbler, is designed for the beginner baker like me.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and get started. So we're going to make the filling, and then we're going to make sort of a biscuit topping, okay? So we have frozen peaches and blueberries. Why don't you go ahead and add them together. And then we have brown sugar, cornstarch, and cinnamon. Put that all together. Now, the cornstarch is really important because what's going to happen is when we start to bake this, the juices will come out of the fruit. Now, the cornstarch we're going to coat, and the cornstarch will then thicken the juice and give us a nice rich slurry, okay? So why don't you go ahead and take this spoon and just carefully fold it over so that everything is evenly and just nicely mixed in.
Okay.
So what you want to, actually, let me show you how to fold. Actually, yeah, you're right. Just go in from the side and kind of flip over.
Okay.
Perfect. Get it all nice and evenly mixed. While you're doing that, I'm going to start the biscuit topping, all right? So go ahead and keep mixing. What I have is Bisquick, which is actually one of my favorite all-purpose type baking items. We're going to put some Bisquick in a bowl. I got some brown sugar that's going to go in. That looks pretty good. Keep going. You're good. Just get it all evenly mixed in. And I have a little bit of cinnamon that's going to go here. Actually, strike that. That's nutmeg. And I'm going to just mix it together. I'm going to get all my dry ingredients evenly mixed, okay? Okay. And that looks really good, Cheryl. Why don't we do this? Stop for a second. Now, that fruit is going to go into a baking dish. What I've done is I've melted butter into the baking dish. It's going to do two things. The butter is going to add flavor to our cobbler, but also it's sort of creating a layer so we don't have a big gunk of baked in stuck fruit as well. So sort of, it's kind of warm because I melted the butter in here, but so go ahead and pour that in there.
Okay.
Now that I got my dry ingredients all kind of evenly mixed together, I'm going to add my wet. I have some melted butter that's going to go in here, and I've got a little bit of milk that's going to go in. And what I'm going to do is sort of just cut it and slowly work it together to create a dough, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and try to evenly get that all together there. And one of the things that I'm really trying to make sure happens, Cheryl, is I want to make this dough, but I don't want to work it too much. It's going to be a little bit lumpy, and that's okay. Okay. If I work it too much, what will happen is it's going to get tough. Okay. Okay? Okay. And that looks great. Good job. Here's our sort of our dough, right? And I want to just evenly portion it out so that we can put it on top. And I'm going to just sort of shape it out and flatten it. Now, depending on the baking dish you have and depending on how many portions you want to serve, you can put, 8 pieces or 6 pieces. In our case here, I want to cut 6 pieces, so I'm going to go like 6 pieces like that. And we're going to take them, and we're going to put little pieces right on top like this. You want to do one?
You don't have to make it round.
Nah. This is a free-form cobbler. I'm going to push it down in there a little bit. What's going to happen is it's going to bake, it's going to rise, and just fit the pieces in. And the reason I'm sort of doing, I could have just put a whole piece on top. I want to keep some cracks in here though, because I want the juices to give a chance to boil and bubble and come up to the top. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to put this in the oven, and we're going to bake it for maybe 30 minutes. And what we're looking for is it's going to rise, brown on the top. We'll have a nice biscuit topping. The fruit will cook and boil and will thicken inside. Okay? So I'm going to put this in the oven, and then we're going to bake it. Okay. All right, so here we have it. This is the blueberry peach cobbler with the biscuits on the top. And you can tell that it's done because the biscuits have risen nicely. They're nice and evenly brown on the edges, and the inside came to a nice boil, and it thickened with the slurry.
And how would you serve this?
You could put this out family style and put a nice serving spoon in and give everyone dishes, and they could scoop a little bit and get a little bit of biscuit with it, and you're good to go. With
a little bit of whipped cream or ice cream on top?
I would go for you could do either, but I'd go for the ice cream a la mode.
Ooh. Blueberry peach cobbler.
For this recipe and more, visit us at foodland.com.